It is Tuesday, so I must be talking about, you guessed it, Project 2025. Digging through this 922-page tome is my work until Election Day. I've read it, so you don't have to. It's full of plans for every aspect of the federal government, mostly shrinking it, except for the parts that allow the government to control the lives of its nation's citizens in the worst ways. Oh, and then there's this other part, cutting taxes for corporations and the wealthiest among us. Now, today, the progressive think tank Center for American Progress released an analysis of what Project 2025's tax plan would actually look like for America's bank accounts if Trump enacted it. The top lines in this thing are amazing. According to the Center for American Progress, Project 2025's tax plan would cut taxes for households making more than $10 million a year by an average of $2.4 million a year, which is great news for the hyper-wealthy. But what about for the rest of America? Check out this chart. This is a visualization of the added tax burden for a middle-class, a married couple with 2 children under Project 2025's tax plan. Under the plan, families by that description that make anywhere between $35,000 a year and $170,000 a year would all see their taxes go up. For example, a married couple with 2 kids making a collective $80,000 a year would see nearly $2,000 more in federal taxes a year, as well as the ultra-wealthy getting that sweet tax cut. The same is true for single Americans. Every American making between $17,000 and $85,000 a year would see their taxes go up. There's a very good reason that Donald Trump claims to have nothing to do with Project 2025 every time he's asked about the plan. Now, compare the nonsense in here to Vice President Harris's tax proposal. At the core of Harris's proposal is a continuation of the Biden administration's promise that no one making less than $400,000 a year would have their taxes go up at all. That's a key part of Harris's tax proposal, but it's not just income taxes that are the issue here. We import a lot of things in America. Here's Donald Trump's plan for how to deal with that.
We're going to have 10 to 20% tariffs on foreign countries that have been ripping us off for years. We're going to charge them 10 to 20%.
That is some knuckleheaded stuff. Not only is Trump saying he's going to impose a 10 to 20% tariff on imports from foreign countries broadly, he says very specifically he will impose a 60% or higher tariff on all imports from China. Trump is trying to sell that proposal as just another way that he's, quote unquote, putting America first. But the Center for American Progress crunched the numbers on that plan, too. And the reality is that Trump's plan doesn't shift the tax burden to China, as he'd like to say. Anybody who has a third-grade education understands that when you put a tariff on an imported good, it shifts the burden to the consumer. If Trump puts a 10% tariff on goods from other countries across the board and a 60% tariff on all goods from China, the Center for American Progress calculates that would cost the average middle-class American family an extra $2,500 a year just to buy the very same goods that they're already buying now. If Trump chose to go the more extreme route and implemented a 20% tariff on most countries, that would cost the average middle-class family $3,900 a year for exactly the same goods they're buying now. Whether it's in tax code changes or in tariffs, the Trump and Project 2025 tax plans are essentially major tax cuts for the rich and huge new tax burdens for the middle class and the working poor. Paying more for what you already buy is, in fact, the textbook definition of inflation, something we've been trying, mostly successfully, I might add, to tackle since the pandemic. Donald Trump wants to basically impose inflation upon us as soon as he gets into office. Meanwhile, here are Kamala Harris's plans to bring down the cost of living for American families. Eliminate medical debt for millions of Americans. A ban on price gouging for groceries and food. A cap on prescription drug costs. A $25,000 subsidy for first-time homebuyers. And a revival of the child tax credit. Okay, that last one, the revival of the child tax credit, that is huge. You might remember the expansion of the child tax credit that was passed as part of the American Rescue Plan in 2021. It cut child poverty in this country by a whopping 46%. Cut child poverty nearly in half. Those expanded tax credits only lasted for 6 months, and then they just disappeared, despite all of the good that they did, plunging many American children in the richest country in the world, back into poverty. Harris wants to not just bring those child tax credits back, but actually increase the amount that parents get for the first year of a child's life, which is the most important from a formative perspective. Now, you may be thinking, that all sounds great, but how do we pay for it? Well, that's actually where Harris and Trump's economic plans really flipped the script. For decades, Republicans have sold themselves as the party of fiscal responsibility, painting Democrats as massively irresponsible overspenders. With the Harris and Trump economic plans, the opposite is in fact the case. According to nonpartisan estimates, Harris is proposing spending about $2 trillion over the next decade for her plans, while raising about $5 trillion in tax revenues. That puts her plan, this is basic math again, third grade stuff, $3 trillion in the green, all without raising the taxes of anyone making less than $400,000 a year. Okay, now let's look at the right side of this thing. The Trump and Project 2025 plans call for about $5 trillion in tax breaks, while only raising about $3 trillion in tariffs. The economic term for that is upside-down pineapple cake. That means that the Trump White House would put the country $2 trillion in the red, all while cutting the taxes of the ultra-wealthy and increasing the tax burden on most Americans by adding massive tariffs to imported consumer goods. That is an incredibly stark contrast. And the question now is, how much of these two very different economic visions for America will reach voters by November? And what economic messages will resonate with them?